Hello, everyone. My name is Marius Tănescu. I'm happy to be here again and talk about blockchain, artificial intelligence. I think this is a topic that anybody should start talking as much as possible, learning as much as possible, because it's something very important that is going to roll out in the next few years, and you don't want to be behind. What I realized lately is like that a lot of people somehow they avoid to talk about blockchain, artificial intelligence. And probably one of the reasons that they avoid is because they don't know too much or they know nothing about it. And when you don't know anything about a topic, you naturally you avoid that topic and you like to talk about something else that you know and you feel like you have something to say. But what I want to do with the interviews that I have here is to help people. And first of all, I want to help myself to understand this new technology, which I believe is something that is going to impact the world, is going to change the world. And I want to understand as much as possible in a language that is not so technical. It's down to earth in a way that anybody can learn and anybody can understand, and that's my main goal. And the reason that I'm very excited today is because I have a very special guest, and we are going to have a beautiful conversation because this gentleman, he has a lot of experience in cryptocurrency, in blockchain, in artificial intelligence. He has a good success story, and also he has the vision, and probably is the best person to learn from because he can explain us in a very simple way with different examples, and for sure we are going to learn a lot today. That's why I'm excited to say welcome to Jon, my good friend that I discovered him lately. Like we probably know each other for a year now. And thank you so much for accepting my invitation. I really appreciate it, and I'm honored to have you here.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. I love to educate. It's one of my favorite things to do. I'm a blockchain evangelist. I love the technology and the potential, and I look forward to, sharing my story and jumping in. And you kind of put me on the spot because I'm thinking, like you said, I explain things in a really good way. I hope I can live up to that.
No, you are doing very well. I learn a lot from you, and looks like it's very hot where you are. What part of United States you live?
Well, I'm up in the Northeast, and it's like we're under a heat wave right now. It's only high 80s, but they say it's the real feel of 70. I'm sorry, 91 degrees. So it's hot and humid. That's what makes it really hot here.
Yeah. Okay, let's jump into the topic. First of all, I would like to know you more, like to let people know you more. When did you start being interested, or how did you find about blockchain, new technology, about crypto? Because a lot of people, like I said at the beginning, a lot of people they hear about, but they avoid to talk. And how did you get started?
Yeah, so I wish I had like a story where I got started in like 2009, but I don't. My journey began in 2016. Um, uh, Crypto had been out for already 6 years, but just to kind of set the stage, like I don't come from a technical background. Like I was a carpenter. I worked
Mhm,
every day. I swung a hammer. I
mhm,
just was come from middle class America, and working. And I remember it vividly. I was renting out an apartment in the nearby city with my wife and my kids, and I would work every day, come home, work really hard to try to get ahead. I think just like a lot of people do, trading my hours for dollars. And I remember scrolling Facebook one day, and I just remember seeing these like pictures of cars and laptops, and they were talking laptop lifestyle, Bitcoin. I was like, what are these guys doing? Because I'm sitting here, my fingers are bleeding from where I hit the hammer, and these people aren't even working. I'm like, what are they doing? And so that's what really began my journey. So I went down this rabbit hole of trying to understand the technology. And I think it's the piece that most people avoid because it's such a learning curve and it's so complex. But
mhm.
my motivation at that time wasn't about anything other than financial freedom. It
Mhm.
wasn't about like creating impact in the world. It was literally about how can I make more money so I don't have to keep working
In a
and can
better
spend
way.
more, yeah, and spend more time with my family, send my kid to college, like just, to stop the struggle of the grind. I was never destitute, I was never poor, but I worked hard for what I had, and we're saving up for our first home. And I just saw this as an opportunity to get ahead because I was looking at it from that state of mind. I was confusing cryptocurrency for blockchain. And
Mhm.
so that's where really my journey began. It took me about 2 weeks to first begin to grasp it. I grasped it enough to understand it here. I still couldn't understand it here. And I remember pulling my wife aside and saying, "Hey, I want to invest in Bitcoin mining." I must have sounded like a idiot trying to explain it. She was like, "You're crazy." But we decided to invest. I think I bought my first few Bitcoin at $450 and
Wow.
invested into like some Bitcoin mining. And then my story continues from there. But I learned a lot, I grew a lot, and I think I one of the things is I experienced a profound change in the way I view the world and this technology, and it didn't happen right away. It took me a couple years to really start to get that mindset.
Tell us a little bit what Bitcoin mining looks like, or what's exactly, because there are people that they are. This can be something totally strange, a concept that they don't understand. I know there are people that understand the mining concept in
Yeah.
Bitcoin, but imagine that there are people that they have no idea how that looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, back then, what it looked like is you would have to buy. So, just to understand what mining is, it's a process by which that validation on the Bitcoin network occurs. And it's what gives birth to new tokens. So, new tokens come into existence through the validation of this network. You can almost look at it like what's mining in real life. When you mine gold, you need to buy an excavator, you need to buy gold processing hardware, and it mines the gold that's pre-existing out of the earth. And it's like the same thing, but it's a complex process through code and technology that happens in a digital world.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. And for that, you need computer, supercomputer. You need
Yeah. It was easier to do it back in the day. Like when Bitcoin first started, you used to be able to just, open up your laptop, download a software program and double click the program and run it, and people would earn 50 Bitcoin every 10 minutes for helping validate the network.
yeah.
Bitcoin is like 120,000 right now. Imagine earning 50 Bitcoin every 10 minutes in the early days. So
Wow.
Bitcoin right now is very, very difficult. The normal average person can't do it. You need to have like millions of dollars in capital. You need a efficient data center close to low cost power to be able to actually mine the
And for
Bitcoin
people that
network.
they say their dream is to start mining Bitcoin, probably that's not an option.
It's not really an option.
They have to look
Not,
for something
yeah,
else, for other
yeah,
projects.
exactly. Yeah, it's the those days are over for sure.
Yeah. Going back to the fact that you're a carpenter and you are starting looking for this new technology with a goal in mind to achieve your freedom, right? To work
Yeah.
less, maybe to be able to spend more time with the family. Now, my simple question is: I don't want to get into the details, but did you achieve that? It helped this industry for you to achieve that dream.
I did achieve that, but not with some challenges. And I'll just, briefly kind of go over my few years. So I started in 2016. I got into Bitcoin mining. I think by the end of that same year, I was hacked and lost everything I had acquired. And I think I had $1,000 left, and I almost gave up. I literally said, I'm not doing this anymore. So I learned a valuable lesson in security. Maybe that's a whole nother podcast that we need
Yeah,
to
we
do.
have to talk about that.
Yeah. So I had $1,000 left, and within 2 years, I made all the right moves and decisions. I kind of have a knack for being able to see around corners and kind of be in the right place and take the action and put myself in a position before the rest of the world can see to be able to capitalize on that. So by 2018, I think I made my first $3 million. I actually quit my job that very same year, which was scary for me. I'll be honest with you. I was like scared to quit my job because I'm moving from knowing that if I do certain hours, I'll get a paycheck. And now I'm letting that go and going full time into the blockchain where like we have market conditions, like it's not always consistent. It was very scary, but that's what really gave me my time freedom, the freedom of self. Um, my shift in my mindset actually happened the beginning of that year. I was in Thailand, right? And I met a gentleman who I'm still friends with today, and he made me look at the blockchain from a totally different angle. Because again, guys, remember, I'm looking at crypto and blockchain as purely a financial tool. He
Mhm.
opened up my mind to the fact that the fundamental technology of cryptocurrencies, which is blockchain, really has the power to disrupt almost every industry. Like, think about it. Like, think about how it could affect voting, supply chains, real world assets. It's more than just crypto. I
Yeah,
was
but right
looking,
now, majority of people, if you say blockchain, they associate with crypto right away.
they do, and that's the problem. It's two different things. It's like calling the internet email. I was looking at the internet as that email was only the only
That's the
thing.
entire internet. That's the purpose of the
Yeah.
internet, is just to send an email.
That's looking at this as only crypto. That's how you're looking at the internet, as only email.
Mhm.
But we all know, because we've had the experience of, if you're I'm 46, if you're as old as me, you've watched the evolution of the internet.
Yep.
It started with email. It was clunky and difficult to use, but then through the decades, it's evolved to, social media, streaming, web hosting. Like, there's a whole spectrum of things that the internet is now. And that's kind of where we going with blockchain. Like, blockchain is a fundamental technology. Cryptocurrency was the first application, but there's
Mhm.
many more applications that can add benefit to humanity. So this is where my mind shifted, my focus, like my mission. And every time I woke up now, it wasn't about making money. It was about how can we impact the world through use and application of blockchain technologies.
That's huge, because I believe if we are going to learn at least this, when you think of blockchain or when you think of cryptocurrency, don't think like this is it. Like the blockchain is here just to be able to send some crypto from one person to another one. The way internet was not to send just an email. That was not the purpose. That was the first application, like you said. And I feel like we are in the 90s, 95, 96, when I heard for the first time about the internet. And I knew that, okay, you can send an email. I feel like we are in the same time right now with blockchain, because we don't know how this is going to roll out in future. But exactly like you said, this is a technology that is here to impact the world. And that's why I want to talk with you about this, and you can give us ideas, give us hints, give us a vision, like open the mind for us, how we can participate. And probably is not the best way to say it, but take advantage of this.
Yeah, I think there's a multitude of different ways to participate. If you can, and I think here's the kind of catch 22 with where we are right now. Like, you could realize this, okay, blockchain is more than just crypto, but like, how do I actually use it and interact with it? Until we get to that point where the average everyday person can use a real world product or service that looks just like what exists, but it's leveraging blockchain tech, they
Mhm.
won't understand the benefit of blockchain. So I think we're at this interesting phase in blockchain where we're starting to see the rollout of these, I call them real world products and services that look just like normal products, but they're actually leveraging blockchain on the back end. Up until this point, blockchain has been very blockchainy. And what I mean by that, like, learning curve, difficult for users to understand, just like how the internet was. Even before email, you had to be a coder, you had to know all the
That means
things.
was only for people that they understand tech, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
nerds, let's put it in.
yeah. And then so as the internet evolved and companies developed applications where users can have a different type of experience, they began to see the benefits of the internet. It wasn't just about email. It was about getting news from different parts of the world, getting updated weather. Then it became about interacting, creating content on social media platforms. And that's kind of like where we're at right now with blockchain. We're moving from, just crypto as a financial tool to, leveraging the fundamental technology to add a lot of different benefits in a multitude of different industries. So, you know, um, we're right on the gateway to literally starting to see like real world products and services. There's not a lot of companies doing it, but um, there's a multitude of different ways you can participate. You can
When you
buy.
say we, I feel like that we, it's a very small group of people, very small
Yeah,
group. Because even people that I know, a lot of people that they say they are involved in different projects, in different crypto projects. All what they are looking at the price on coin market cap,
that's it.
and that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
They're looking how to make more money when the
That's
price
it.
is going
That's
up or
all it's about. That's all it's about for them. It's about they invested money and they want to see the token price go up. That's cool. You can play that game. But at the end of the day, like when I lay my head on my pillow at night and go to bed, like, cool, it's cool to make money. But when you make a bunch of money, it's like, what am I doing here? What's my purpose? Like, what's the reason for being alive? You know? For the average everyday person, there's a tremendous opportunity to make money. And there's also a tremendous opportunity in this early time to get scammed. I mean, it happens all the time. So, we're just at this interesting phase where we're like transitioning from crypto being just a financial tool to now starting to see like real world products and services where people can begin to interact and benefit from using. And it's a different way to get their foot in the door into the blockchain space.
before we go there, let's talk about a little bit of the problems that this new technology, blockchain, AI, can solve. Like one of the problems that I'm thinking right now is like if we speak and I have my phone close to me, right, closer to me. If I open my phone right now, I'm going to see a lot of advertising, right? That is going to pop up and is going to try to sell me something, which means somebody is listening to me. Did that happen to you, or it's
It
only me?
happens to me more than I like to admit. It happens all the time.
That's one thing. That means somebody is listening. Somebody, it's you are not private anymore, right? That's one thing. Second thing, whatever I do right now, and this is what I learned lately because I was unaware of that. Whatever I do online, either I click or like or comment or I search something or I'm going to, let's say, ChatGPT and I'm trying to learn something, whatever I do and we do online, I understand that we generate data. And that data that we generate, because they know what we think, how we think, they know what we want, when we want, they know everything about us because we try to find information from online, but that generates data every single time when we touch the computer and or the phone, right? Now, that data, what I understand, is going to the big tech and they are controlling that data. And the more data somebody has, the more they control, the more they can manipulate if they are not, let's say, in the right direction, or the more they make money with that. I think that's one of the things that I would like you to address. And also the fact that I'm scared about the fact that somebody can create a video. It's not about me, but I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
You don't know the difference between fake video or fake news right now. Like if you go online and try to figure out what's a fake news and what's a real news, like it's kind of hard to figure out that. Is blockchain a solution for this?
Yeah. Blockchain is 100% a solution to that. And And it's scary, and a lot of people don't actually realize the game that's being played right now. It's they're tricking us. They're giving us free tools. Like, think about it. Google, you get a free email, free calendar, but what's the real cost?
Research bar.
Free search bar, you get all free, but what is the real cost? The reason why they give it for free is because they're making money off of our data, and they can use that data for their own AI to make it stronger, and they also use that data to sell to advertisers. It's the same reason why if you have your phone close and you're talking about, I need a chair for my front porch because mine broke. Next thing you know, you're scrolling Facebook and you see front porch chairs. You're
Yeah.
like, what the heck? They sold your data to that company that's advertising to you. And so the blockchain can be a layer that protects and keeps the data in the person's control, right?
But
It's
do you
big.
know too many projects that they do that? Or
Um,
I feel not too many blockchain
no,
projects are trying to do that.
no. I mean, I'm sure there's maybe a few out there, but I know for a fact there is a few projects that I'm involved with, because I think that's important. It's a real world application. And again, for me, this isn't about just making money. It's about creating solutions where problems exist. Like,
What would you say to somebody that would say, I don't care that they make money on my data?
yeah, it's tough. It's like, some people don't care. They just don't care. But I think if they understood the value of that data, I think I heard figures like Facebook makes like something crazy like $4 billion a quarter just on people's data.
Wow.
$4 billion every few months just on the data they harvest. That's what they get for selling that to advertisers. And if they don't care, they don't care. It's like, but there's a better way. Here's People just don't realize it. Maybe they don't have the energy, but like there's a systemic problem that exists in the world across almost every industry. And with AI growing exponentially and the data harvesting issue, like there is problems across every industry. Like, you name it, I could give you a blockchain solution right now for it. It doesn't matter what the problem, what the industry is. Blockchain is a solution, because one of the fundamental um, things about blockchain is it distributes the power and control that exists in the current world.
Yeah. Let's
And
play a little bit. Tell me the problem in food industry, for example,
yeah,
because
so the
that's something
problem,
that we really need. Like we need food, right?
yeah, so
Somebody
from a
will not say, "Oh,
consumer,
I don't care about that."
yeah, no, that's something we all need to survive. Without it, we die. So I can only look at the problems from a consumer standpoint. Like, I'm not a producer of food. I'm sure there's a bunch of problems on that end, but let's just, for the everyday person who eats 3 meals a day, like, if I want to make a decision to eat healthy, what are my options as a citizen of the United States who lives in central Massachusetts? So in my mind, I have three options. The first option is I can decide to grow my own vegetables and raise my own livestock. For most people, that's not an option, because
Yeah.
A, they don't have the space, or B, they don't have the time. They work regular jobs. So that's out for most people. B, the second option, I can find a local farmer, right? I can see their process. I can see what they put into their growing their food. Do they use chemicals, pesticides? If I can find somebody that aligns with my beliefs and trust that process, then I can support that local farmer and buy their beef, chicken, eggs, vegetables. That's the second way. People who live in cities, like, they don't really have that option unless they want to drive outside. So what's the final option that most people are left with? We go to the grocery store or the supermarket, and what are our options there? We go to the certified organic section, and how do we know what it is we're getting? We look at the label, right? So we have to trust a distant governmental agency, and look at the certified organics label. But we have no transparency beyond that label. We have to trust that they are being truthful and factual to us. The blockchain solves that problem. because we don't need to trust third parties to tell us it is. We can trust the blockchain, because once something goes on the blockchain, it's permanent and it's immutable. So there's projects out there right now that are tracking cows from when they were born all the way to when they are slaughtered, how much food went into them, their carbon footprint. And I can order that beef right now and scan a QR code and get factual blockchain data on the whole life cycle of that animal that I'm putting into my body. So that's like the power of the blockchain. It does
And
away with having to trust third parties.
yeah, and that's huge. And not only that, you know what you eat, what you put in your body, but at the same time you can support a farmer that is doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Because right now, as far as I understand, the farmers, they are forced to do what they don't like to do, but they are forced to stay in the business, and they need to use all kinds of chemicals, they all kinds of treatments that they know they kind of do against what their mission is, right? Because when you are a farmer, your main goal is to feed population. But when you know that you actually in the food you put chemicals that is not good, that are not good for the food, you as a farmer probably you are not accomplish your mission, and that's because of the industry and other big companies that are controlling the markets.
And it even goes a step further than that. Like, it's not even just about the food, it's about the planet. Like, when you introduce like chemicals and pesticides into like farms at scale, like they're not naturally like regenerating the soil, and we're depleting the soil, and it causes a ton of other problems that like could be solved with the blockchain. Like, it doesn't have to be the way it is. And if people really knew that they could begin to leverage blockchain technology, whether they're a consumer or a producer, then the world could be that much of a better place.
There are farmers that they start embracing the new technology, and
Yeah. Yeah,
they
just
start
like how
using it.
there's people that are embracing it, it's the same problem. We need to understand like how practical application this can benefit me. And once they understand that, that's where they plug in and begin
For me as
to,
a consumer, first of all, is the healthy food that I put in my body, and I know that this farmer is doing good thing.
yeah,
And second is not a, let's say, a better price for the buyer, and also a better price for the seller, because you eliminate the third party, the fifth
yeah,
party, and the 10th party between
yeah.
the
All the
farmer
greedy hands in between taking
in
all the
between.
money. Yeah.
And then it's win-win situation on many
Yeah.
aspects, and that's blockchain that can solve. One more example, give me the problem in health industry, for example, because
Yeah.
again,
So yeah, the health industry, like, God bless the workers of the health industry. I'm not saying that the people in the health industry are the problem. The problem is the system itself. I have family members and friends that actually work in the healthcare industry, and they're trying to make a difference. But the problems that exist in the health industry, for me, it's very simple. We treat symptoms, not root causes. And the industry, the companies, pharmaceutical companies, or any type of big healthcare companies that are in that vertical, in that industry, they're actually rewarded when people are sick. They make money. The more people that are sick, the more money they make. And isn't the point of business to be profitable and make money? To me, the system is backwards. It should be the other way around.
of course,
Shouldn't it be? Like, think about this. Shouldn't it be that the healthcare system rewards people for doing healthy
of
things
course.
so
Not
they don't need the treatments? Like, it's just so backwards in my mind. And that's what, there's blockchain projects out there that are incentivizing humanity to begin to do these healthy things that won't lead them to the hospital or with illnesses further down the road. And it goes further than that with health records. I moved my main doctor, and like I had a struggle to try to get my health records. It goes back to my data. I literally had to call the old people that I had the doctor with, and I said, "Hey, I need a copy of my health records." And it was like pulling teeth. I had to sign something. I had to do all this. I'm like, guys, just give me my records. It's
It's
mine.
my
They
record.
wouldn't. I had to ask them for permission, but like The blockchain solves that. Imagine if I could hold my health records on the blockchain and grant people permission, temporarily time based, to see them and then take it back. They're mine. I should own it and control it. Just like how I can own and control my finances on the blockchain allows for the ownership of anything, my identity, my data, my health records. That's the magic of it.
Wow, very, very interesting. Um, I want to ask you, what would you recommend somebody that is totally new and they avoid this topic and they don't want to learn, or it seems that it's too complicated, it's not for them, maybe they are too old for something like this. What do you recommend? What they need to do?
Yeah, so what I found is I find that people want to try to do it, but it's always just too hard and complicated. I would definitely try to find somebody like yourself, Marius, or myself. Here's the thing: you want to avoid people that are, talking about finances and and gains, and really try to find out like what's happening out there that's actually adding value to the world. Because when it becomes about like real world products or services and like blockchain creating impact for humanity, I think that's where you're going to find a different class of people. And that's where I think you can find a safe place or maybe a product or service that you could find value in that would give you an into the blockchain or crypto space in a different way. I tell people too, like, hey, if you want to just like invest in crypto, it's super easy. Like if you just want to buy some coins, go ahead. Here's Coinbase or crypto.com. Like nobody's going to really start to notice or do anything unless they have skin in the game. So it may be that I help somebody get their first couple $100 in Bitcoin. Then next thing you know, they're watching it all the time. It goes up, it goes
Mhm.
down, it goes up, it's up. And they're like, oh my God. And then they start paying attention to it. And that's how they learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um, I want to shift a little bit the conversation to the terminologies that we like I heard, and probably people they don't understand too much. Like for example, Web 2, Web 3. Now I heard about Web 4. What's the difference between all of those?
Yeah, these are good questions. I love this. People are going to learn a lot. So Web 1 was the early internet. It was read only. Just imagine like websites that you couldn't contribute to. You could literally only read the information. Those are early websites called Web 1. It was a static internet. Then came the evolution of Web 2 after the dot-com boom. We started to see websites where you could interact with. You could post content. It was the dawn of social media where content creators came out. It's kind of like the world we're in right now. It's a mixture of Web 2 and 3. And then Web 3 came out. Web 3 was simply introduced ownership, blockchain, NFTs, crypto. It's that whole complex world that's like still really hard to understand. So simultaneously, what's happening right now is we have a convergence of like if you go online, what you see today, that's Web 2. And then we understand that there is this crypto and blockchain thing. That's Web 3. They're simultaneously. But we're having this introduction of this new concept called Web 4. And really, it's spawned by marrying the concept of decentralized artificial intelligence, an AI that's not owned and controlled by corporations, it's owned and controlled by people and communities, married together with blockchain through the use of real world products and services. So with these three together, I know it's difficult to understand
Yeah,
like
give
what
us
this means.
example. Give us examples. Help us to
Yeah.
understand.
Okay. Um, so I think we all look at the internet as a tool. If you're as old as me, you remember what it was like before the
I'm
internet, and
older,
then
don't worry.
are you? How old are you, man? I'm
I'm not
46. So
saying, but I'm older,
okay,
don't
okay.
worry.
So I look at the internet as a tool. I go to websites. I look at everything as a tool. My daughter, she's 13. She was born into it. So this is just a layer of what exists to her. She doesn't know anything other than the internet. She doesn't look at it like a tool. It's like how a fish sees water. It's just the fabric of existence. You understand?
Yeah.
Like we don't see air, we know it exists, but it's just a fundamental layer. So just imagine a fundamental layer that we as consumers and owners in this, we can just use regular products and services that we traditionally use, but it's not leveraging Web 2 based systems. It's leveraging the blockchain. And we have an AI now that's integrated into that. So imagine just this fundamental layer that's intuitive, uses AI, and knows what I'm going to do before I do it. That's the power of the AI. But I own it. It's safe because I own it. None of my data is leaking out to company. There is no company that exists. It's people interacting with the layer connected with AI, and everything is owned and controlled by humanity, not by like big tech or entities or companies. So just imagine I can wake up in the morning and my AI says, "Hey, Jon, good morning. It looks like you slept good last night. Based on the data I got from your Apple Watch, it looks like you need a little bit of water today. So it would say, make me get some water. I could start to communicate with it. It could maybe say like, it seems like you're not feeling a little well. Would you like me to order some beef and have it delivered to you? Like this is the type of like interactive stuff. It's like we can grant it permissions, but it like can predict what we're going to do because all of our data is staying into ourselves, and AI is using that data to make us be the best version of ourselves. It could be something as simple as like, hey, you got an email from Marius. He wants to meet with you to do this podcast. Would you like me to schedule a time that both of your calendars work for you? Yes. Okay, great. Awesome. And in this system, the value stays within it. So all of the, use of products and services, like that value doesn't get leaked out. So there's rewards attached to all types of actions. It's hard to explain because it's never existed before, because we're so used to this current system where we're just consumers and we don't see our data and we don't see our value because all that gets leaked out. But just imagine a layer where like all that stays in. Like this is essentially what Web 4 is, and it's being built right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
It's
it's it's mind blown.
mind blowing, and it's hard to understand because
It is.
there is nothing that we know to relate with, and the mind cannot relate with something like this.
Yeah.
But it's huge. Um, what what else do you think we should know about blockchain and artificial intelligence?
Yeah, I think whether you understand it or believe it or want to believe, it's coming and it's coming fast. You know, whether you like it or not, blockchain will be the fundamental layer that the whole world operates on. And it's increasing and growing at an exponential rate faster than the internet ever came at us. So there's a unique opportunity to um, get involved early to not only capitalize on that. If I had the foresight, I was a young child in the early 90s. If I had the mind to take my money, which I had, which was not a lot, and invest it into like the .com boom or early internet startups or Apple, like I would have made a lot of money, but I didn't. My mind wasn't there. Just know that this technology is coming and it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. I mean, you've seen it all across the world. Like it's all over the news. You see Trump talking about like it's very crypto blockchain friendly these days, and it just goes to show you like where we're headed. And I think there's just a ton of potential in it to really just impact the world.
but because there are so many projects right now, and you don't know, you don't have experience, you don't know where to start, or you are afraid of the scammers, because let's put it this way, there are a lot of scammers into the space.
Yeah,
How can you
it's simple.
validate,
Yeah,
how can you validate the project?
it's very, very simple to me, and
Simple.
no, it is, and it can be simple for you, and it's counterintuitive to think like this. Most people want some type of guarantee because our risk tolerance is low. We need to know for sure that this is going to be good. If I put in X amount of dollars in, I want to know with surety that I'll get X out. The problem with that is in anything real, there is no guarantee. So it's
Mhm.
very simple for me. If I see some type of ROI, or you can earn a percentage a day, or if they're using language that tries to make it seem like it's like playing, using wording that kind of plays on my human instincts, like that's a red flag. I've lost a ton of money from 2016 to probably 2018 or 19, getting caught up in these things where they dangle a shiny carrot and say, "Come here and put your money here. You can make a bunch of money."
Yeah,
I stopped doing that.
that's the way they say, give me your money, I will do my magic, I will multiply them, and I will give
Yeah,
you a percentage
it's all
daily.
fake. It's all a scam. It's very simple. If you like, valuable projects don't look valuable because they're not dangling the money or the shiny carrot. So you just gotta look. That's a telltale sign. Ask yourself, are they promising me anything in return? If yes, avoid them. If no, maybe dig a little bit into it and see what they're doing. Like, that's how I've had a lot of my success. I stopped chasing that shiny object and started digging into the real tech
but,
and what people
but
are
most
actually
people,
doing.
they are looking for right now rewards, like tomorrow, if it's possible.
It doesn't exist anywhere. Like, that's just a fake thing they tell themselves in their mind. There is no like get rich quick. It doesn't exist. It's a fairy tale.
And that's one thing. There is another thing that you are looking, that is a red flag, or it's something good.
No, I think really it's just those two things. It's like, if anybody's promising any type of gains or returns or ROI, and if the project uses any type of language that tries to trick us, you know. Anything that sounds too good to be true, guys, is too good to be true.
Yeah, but when you are excited about a project, that you believe in that project and you think it's a good project, somebody can say, yeah, that's too good to be true also. How can you
Well,
make the difference between a good project and a bad project?
yeah, I mean, I think that comes down to like asking yourself the question, like what is the value that this project adds to humanity? Because that's really that will really determine the success. Like, is this a big problem they're solving? Like, do I feel that the team is capable of doing that? Is it like company owned and controlled? That's a big thing you want to look at. Like,
Yeah,
how is it decentralized? How
yeah,
does the community engage in this? Is it just the company like pulling the strings? Like, that's another thing that I would back off. Like, you want something that's more like decentralized, distributed power and control, that's aimed at solving real world problems. I'm not saying that like a company that has control can't really build something valuable and it could be successful, but that defeats the whole purpose of blockchain. It's really to disrupt that company kind of mindset and control.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, John. I really appreciate this
my pleasure.
conversation. You are a special friend and a special person, that you are doing so many good things, and you are helping a lot of people to understand this new technology and make it simpler, make it easier to understand. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, and I hope we are gonna have you back, because there are a few other things that we need to talk. And one you just mentioned is the one that has to do with how to protect yourself.
Yeah, it's a big one too. Yeah,
It's
for
a big.
sure. I would love to come back and kind of dig into that stuff. That's super important to me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for watching this. If you like it, the conversation, the interview, please share it with others, and make sure you are gonna visit our channel once in a while, because we are gonna keep having good people that they are gonna help us to understand how we can navigate through these amazing projects and through this new technology called blockchain and AI. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Have a good night, wherever you are.
Thanks, Marius.
Thank you.